Most of the world, most of the policies, most of the rating is based on 1/1 losses as opposed to a group of losses. I'm sure there's rating and things that people do and that they put in there for if there is a catastrophic loss, but most of the world runs on a 1/1, and in a catastrophic situation, you're talking hundreds or thousands at the same time. Claim is really a lawsuit. Most get settled out of court. But if you had to go testify and say, like, I need this to rebuild this particular structure, that moment in time is going to affect your opinion. But in reality, it's not going to touch those numbers because the catastrophic surge of pricing, because of the time delay from when the claim happened to when the building was rebuilt. The other side of catastrophic claims and claim surges in general is if, say, your house is still there after a hurricane, but you need a roof. Well, that time compression for fixing the roof is important. And to get roofers to go after neighborhoods or cities, there is an extra cost to that, but that's a partial loss. That's not a total loss. We deal with the total loss side. So in those cases, the claim surge makes absolute sense. There are a lot of elephants in the grass that you find in a catastrophic situation. And so if you look typical curve of where things happen, there are little tails at each end of the curve. And those tails, 1 or 2 losses in those high-end tails, can cause a lot of trouble and throw the whole portfolio out of balance.
Very often, these properties or these addresses have been on the portfolio for years, and it is not unusual for us to find out that this is a vacant piece of land. There's been a loss there years ago, and this policy is still active and they're still on it. Or the use of the policy of the building has changed dramatically. It used to be a retail store. Well, now it's a school because the town has decided we're not going to build a new school. We're going to take this property and turn it into a school, which happens. You'd be surprised how often these types of things happen. I live in New Jersey, the coast of New Jersey, and my hometown was ground zero for Sandy when Sandy hit. And the experiences there of people that I know personally and what I've seen, how the insurance responded, how it either helped or didn't in the rebuilding of the barrier island, and how it's changed is a really good microcosm for why it's important to understand why things after CAT are much different than before CAT, and how you need to underwrite and price and rate for it. So many of these homes had been summer bungalows that had been there for 100 years, never been wet, and they're gone. And they either didn't have insurance, didn't have flood insurance, didn't think they needed it because it was never a problem before. And the majority of these people, these families who have owned this home for decades, generations, no longer have a shore house. And they're being replaced now by multi-million-dollar, multi-level raised homes. So although we can't underwrite only for catastrophes, they do tend to highlight and force you to re-examine your overall philosophy on how you're underwriting your book and the tools you're using to get the numbers you need to write that book correctly.
But I'm open to the idea that we're not perfect and we can improve, and that's a great way to get some feedback to help us, but mostly to help the client. And when you're looking at that, understanding that this one little nuance at this one end could wreck everything else and all the modeling and all the planning and the other parts of your plans.